Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. We're reeling off of the election cycle just now, so I'm going to be posting quite a bit of these videos. I made a comment in the last video in regards to the Democratic Party and the shifting of their demographics and them not really understanding who exactly are now their voters and what their interests actually are. So in this video, I'm going to see if this actually expands on what I meant by that.
Welcome back. It's been exactly 1 week since Election Day, and as President-elect Donald Trump picks key members of his administration, we're getting a clearer picture of how he won voters that recent Republican candidates could not. NBC's Steve Kornacki breaks it all down at the big board.
Well, Donald Trump, not only the president-elect, but also on pace to win the national popular vote. First time in 2 decades a Republican has done that. And he's going to win the popular vote because he's expanded demographics.
And again, that's very important because normally one of the bragging rights Democrats have are the fact that, you know what, yes, Republicans may have won the Electoral College, but they didn't win a majority, and a majority rules in democracy, right? However, this time around, he not only won the Electoral College, but he also won the popular vote. That's why I said in the last video, I predicted a win. However, I did not predict a landslide. No one could have predicted every single swing state. No one would have predicted the actually winning the popular vote. Okay?
Graphically, the Republican coalition, the coalition that elected Trump in this election, it is younger, it's more blue collar, and it's more diverse than any Republican coalition really in modern political history. I mean, take a look at this. Before Trump came along, you see pre-Trump on the screen here. That means the last presidential election when Donald Trump wasn't a candidate. That would be 2012, 12 years ago. So this is what the landscape looked like pre-Trump. In the 2012 presidential election, voters under 30, the youngest group, were an overwhelming Democratic constituency by 23 points.
Okay.
Incomes under $50,000 a year, overwhelmingly Democratic, 22 points. Voters without a college degree, they were Democratic by 4 points. That's pre-Trump.
Okay.
Now, after this election, here's what these same groups look like. That margin for Democrats under 30 slashed basically in half. Voters under 50,000 have now swung all the way over to Republicans by 3 points.
So again, that right there, that's my key point. The Democratic Party has been known as being the party for the poor, disenfranchised, people who need, a little bit more out of life to get them where they need to be. However, they've been campaigning on the same exact type of ideology. However, the people that have been voting for them more recently don't fit that criteria exactly. The black community might be a little bit different because again, they vote together every election in vast numbers and a high majority. However, overall, that has shifted. The low income earners are actually the ones voting for the Republican Party. Who is voting for the Democratic Party?
Trump's margin 3 points over Harris among voters with incomes under $50,000 and no degree. Look at that. Now a 14-point Republican.
Again, you have a college degree. They always tell you, go to college, you have a better future. You make more money, you have a higher earning potential. The ceiling's a lot higher for you. Look at this. 2012. The Democratic Party, when it comes to the majority of their party, their lead when it came to voters that did not have a college degree, they were a +4. Now, the Republican Party is +14 when it comes to individuals without a college degree, which in my mind lends me to think without a college degree, which probably isn't making as much money in today's economy, which would set them up to be those that are considered disenfranchised and needing of help. But that's not the people that the Democratic Party have been looking for or have been helping. The Democratic Party has become the party of the college educated.
Advantage. Also, on racial and ethnic lines, big shifts too. Take a look at this. Black voters before Trump, overwhelming Democratic constituency, to put it mildly, at 87%.
Still there.
And black voters still are, but that's a 15-point drop. for Democrats, from 87 down to 72. Here's where you really see it. Hispanic voters, pre-Trump, a 44-point margin for Democrats. In this election, just 6 points. Harris over Trump. Asian American voters, too. Look at this.
And I said it in the last video. Hispanic men are who won this election for the for the Republican Party. Hispanic men. And from what I'm seeing at this point, it might have been an even larger shift as it pertains to, well, not larger. It's a sizable shift even when it comes to the Asian community. So again, the party that used to be about diversity is becoming less diverse. They are, and while the Republican Party is becoming the party that would normally, as you think of the demographics, they're becoming the party that you would normally associate with the Democratic Party. But the Republicans now has that image. And some of you might be watching this and laughing and saying, they're just a bunch of fools who voted for him. At the same time, they still voted for him. Okay? Take note.
Before Trump, a 47-point margin for Democrats. That's a 32-point reduction down to just 15 in this election. So that coalition, when you look at how the share of the non-white vote that Trump was able to get, what share of his overall vote non-white voters accounted for, that is the most diverse Republican coalition that we've seen in, I say, modern political times. The consequence of that, too, is you take a look at outside the battleground where Trump made some of his biggest gains. They were in states like New Jersey and New York and California, big blue states. He didn't win any of them, but he made big gains because of this kind of a shift. And meanwhile, as this...
And notice what I just said. Those are the people that would normally be considered a part of the Democratic the Democratic Party as it aligns with their racial or ethnical beliefs. Okay. However, now that's the definite shift. You don't expect to see New Jersey within what, 5 or 6 points? New Jersey? That's my point. The Democratic Party has become the elite. They have become the elite. There are certain groups of people below a certain earning potential that are still voting for them. However, the shift has begun in this election. That shift is what gave Trump the election.
Has happened to the Republican Party under Donald Trump. Here's what's happened to the Democratic Party, sort of the opposite movement we're seeing. Look, among white voters, both pre-Trump and now, overall Republican group. The margin was 20 points before Trump for Republicans among white voters, down to 16 now. And that doesn't look like too much, but white voters are...
The Republican Party is becoming less white. People, pay attention now. It's becoming less white, okay? Less white, more diverse, okay?
About 70% almost of the electorate. So a 4-point drop, that's actually pretty significant. 4-point shift toward the Democrats is what that's telling you. College-educated voters, look at this. Democrats it was basically a tie. Democrats had a very slight advantage before Trump. Now it's a big Democratic advantage and higher.
College-educated, 13 points. Again, you might say I'm I'm reaching for branches that are too high above me. College educated, yes, there's the debt, but that earning potential is definitely higher. Statistics, all right?
Income earners. Before Trump.
And if you didn't, okay, here we go. And if you didn't believe me, there's information right here. Okay? Income greater than 100,000. It used to be by 10 points a Republican lead. Now, by 5 points, it's the Democrat lead. Democrats, as a part of the electorate, are out earning the typical Republican voter.
Republicans by 10 points. Now, Harris won them by 5 points last week. So, again, shifts in the two-party coalitions here. One that allowed Donald Trump to win the popular vote in this election. And also it leaves the electorate overall This is interesting. After now 3 presidential elections of Donald Trump leading the Republican ticket, overall, this is a less polarized, racially polarized electorate than it was
Isn't that something?
pre-Trump.
Thanks for watching. Stay on.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, that's my point, guys. When the Democratic Party goes back to the drawing board, I think what they need to realize is perhaps the things that they've been fighting for as it pertains to earning potential has in fact shifted the demographics of their party. They are no longer simply the party of the struggling. They have become and are leaning towards being the party of the privileged, put that in quotations because I don't like using that word, college educated. Okay, that's what I got. That's all I have for you guys today. If you have anything to add to that conversation, put it in the description. Sorry, put it in the comments below, ladies and gentlemen. I'd love to hear from you, hear what you guys are thinking. Keep it civil, please. Keep it civil. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Peace.